Want to race your friends at 100 k's an hour in a fun and safe environment?
Then check out kart racing. Karting is a great way to develop road skills. With kids as young as 7 learning in a safe and exciting environment, karting gives you a head start on the road.
Karting is fun and exciting, and I get to race against and beat the boys.
It's a great way to meet new friends, so get involved today.
Visit arrowkarts.com for more details.
It's one of the premier events in Australian kart racing, the annual City of Melbourne Titles. And for 2 lucky drivers, it's a trip to Japan to race at the famous Suzuka circuit. Hello everybody and welcome to In Pit Lane's exclusive coverage of the 2009 City of Melbourne Titles. Hello everybody, we're at Todd Road for the City of Melbourne Titles and we're starting out with the next generation. It's the Rookies class. Drivers from 10 to 12 years old with karts powered by a Yamaha KT100J engine fitted with a restrictor plate. They usually turn on some fabulous racing, so let's check out the grid. And on pole position it's Jaidyn Boys, alongside him Mitch Wilson. Then comes James Golding, Lachlan McHugh, and out of position number 5, Jake Klein. Position number 6 sees Jaidyn Job, then comes Mitchell Sayers, Wade McLean, Matthew Smith, and rounding out our top 10 is Jake Dixon. They're just about ready for a start. Let's cross now to our central commentary position and Steve Pollack and Luke Dixon.
And welcome to the City of Melbourne Titles here at glorious Todd Road Circuit, and looks like being a very exciting race in the Rookies class here. We've got Jaidyn Boys up the front there in Poland. They're away and racing, aren't they, Luke?
They certainly are. The charge towards turn 1 here at Todd Road. Sun's out now, a bit cloudy earlier. We've lost one car there.
On the outside.
And it looks like Jaidyn Boys has escaped to an early lead, and looks like we might have lost Mitch Wilson, pushed wide there at the outside. He's dropped well back in the field. A big tragedy there. Mitch starting off the front row and unfortunately dropped back to well past 10th position, so it's going to be very hard for him to work and get up near the front again. But Jaidyn Boys off to a sensational lead thus far, so looks like he'll be the man to beat in the early running.
Absolutely, and you can see a lot of puddles off to the side of the track as we see Boys just make his way up towards the double right-handed, dodging the puddles that were provided thanks to the earlier rain. Of course, very windy here today at Todd Road, as we see Jaidyn Boys aggressively jacking the wheel, making that kart go around that corner very nicely. So we lead onto the straight for the first time. Your leader is still Jaidyn Boys.
And Lachlan McHugh actually has just slipped into second place there and is shadowing Boys very closely. Now just behind him, Jake Klein. Of course, you might notice that Klein has the blue number plates on the kart there. That indicates that he's won a state title, so definitely a very fancied steerer. But at the moment, it is Jaidyn Boys doing a great job out in front. Very consistent and managing to get those SL1 tyres working fairly well. Of course, the J tyre. Oh, we've had a bit of an off there too.
And that's it looks like Jack Bentley with a bent axle, so that's going to be an early afternoon for Jack there. He's parked off to the side of the circuit, no harm done.
And an expensive one too there, but unfortunately his race is run. But meanwhile at the front, the battle still continues. Now McHugh really shadowing Boys as they climb the hill there, and he looks to be very good as they go down into the bottom of the circuit too, but Boys very deep under brakes on the previous lap. Let's have a look this time round.
Absolutely.
Oh, he has a bit of a look on the inside there.
And he is, McHugh, he's up the inside, he's made the pass stick. Or has he? No, he's made a small mistake on the exit, so Boys comes back on the inside.
Well, of course, McHugh going very deep there, and of course it ruined his exit speed.
It certainly did, and that allowed Klein to get back in on the action.
Yep, you can see Klein now in third and looking for second, just trying to get on the inside of Lachlan McHugh. No real opportunity there, so they'll reload and head up the mountain again. But a good effort by Jaidyn Boys to defend. One of the things when you do have a dip at the front and go in deep under brakes, of course, is you can sometimes ruin your exit. So it's certainly something to be watched for. And, geez, Klein's really getting into this battle now, Luke, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's not too far away at all. And McHugh's very good through this left-hander up through Siberia onto the final turn. Yeah, really takes some ground out of Boys.
You'd almost say that Boys has maybe a tooth on more because he's climbing the hill beautifully.
And here goes Boys. He's reloading again. Has a slight look. He's not going to pull out and make a move this time around. And Jake Klein's still in the mix there, but just dropping back just a little bit.
Yeah, it just looks like, particularly that corner too, he really fell off there a bit, so maybe made a small mistake. Those can really punish you. You might notice McHugh there jumping in the seat there. The reason that drivers often try and do that is just to liberate a few more revs from the relatively small KT100J engine. Just by bouncing up and down, they try and get a few more revs and maybe get a bit more top end. But he's really driven right up to the back of Boys' kart, and looks like he might be mounting a challenge. To me, it just looks like the kart is handling a little bit better as it heads up the hill. But Boys has sensational pull out of that sector of the track there. So it's going to go down to the wire between these two, I think, Luke.
Absolutely. Let's load again and go down the straight. Okay, your leader is still Jaidyn Boys from McHugh, who's in the draft.
And a look at Boys there too, slightly narrowing his line as he went through the bottom sector of the circuit.
Yeah, and really had McHugh covered under brakes there as well.
Just slightly closing the door a little bit, making it hard for him to get through. But again, we see some bouncing in the seat, just try and get those revs going on the little KT100Js. But a very difficult day here at the Go-Kart Club of Victoria circuit. Very rainy, very slippery, very cold, very windy. Difficult conditions, particularly for the SL1 tyre, which is not a very grippy tyre. You can see the puddles of water there. They really do help to make the track far less grippy than normal. And in fact, you can just see Boys sliding a little bit as they come through the top sector of the circuit. So anyway, it remains to be seen. I think McHugh might be able to get up and boogie there. He's certainly very close this lap.
He is, and of course with that wind, the draft down this main straight at Todd Road plays a very big part, but McHugh just not enough legs that time around. He looks content just to sit in behind Boys as the laps count down here.
Boys doing a very good job, running an Arrow chassis, of course, a locally manufactured go-kart, and very, very competitive in this class. Looks like McHugh's starting to build up for a bit of a move there, though he's very, very strong through the bottom sector of the circuit there, often referred to as pit corner.
And haven't these two really stretched away, and we've had a bit of a tangle. And that looks like Zachariah Phillips, kart number 10, and number 7, Christian Marina. So that's another early end to these guys' day.
Yes, Christian Marina from the Oakley Go-Kart Club. So unfortunately, no finish for him. But meanwhile, the battle at the front's quite a ferocious one. Not a lot of swapping of positions, but very intense between the two. And again, McHugh having a big look down the end of the straight, but just not close enough to get underneath Boys under brakes. I think he might have to do it somewhere else on the circuit, Chief. What's your view?
It certainly looks like it now. My view would be it's going to be at the top of the circuit. That's where he looks to be a lot stronger, but we'll have to wait and see how this one unfolds. They've definitely dropped Jake Klein now. This is going to be a two-way battle for the lead. And watch for the over and under. It often happens at this corner, and it is. Boys back up on the inside. This is going to be
side by side between McHugh and Boys here.
Oh, McHugh not giving an inch and managing to avoid that puddle. That could have ended in tears. So McHugh holding the lead, goes defensive with 2 corners remaining.
I reckon he might just do this too, and a terrific run to Lachlan McHugh if it's the case.
Both drivers bouncing in the seat, get maximum drive out of those corners.
And a terrific win there for Lachlan McHugh. Jaidyn Boys coming home in second, Jake Klein in third, Jake Dixon in fourth, James Golding in fifth place, Mitch Wilson recovering to come home in sixth, seventh place held by Jaidyn Job, Justin Ford in eighth, and Kyle Colosimo and Chelsea Angelo rounding out the top 10 in rookies.
Congratulations to Lachlan McHugh on a great drive. When we come back, we move up a notch as we check out the Junior National Lights Final, and a trip to Japan awaits the winner. This is the City of Melbourne titles at Todd Road, Melbourne, and they're exclusive to In Pit Lane. We'll be right back.
Want to race your friends at 100 k's an hour in a fun and safe environment?
Then check out kart racing. Karting is a great way to develop road skills. With kids as young as 7 learning in a safe and exciting environment, karting gives you a head start on the road.
Karting is fun and exciting, and I get to race against and beat the boys.
It's a great way to meet new friends, so get involved today.
Visit arrowkarts.com for more details.